Well, hi there. I'm back to do another video. I'm looking at Lucy Letby. I want to see if she's innocent, guilty, if what happened to her in itself was a crime. I want to just have an all-round check into this. I've been doing a little bit of reading, and I think there's questions. So I just want to have a look into it. I know it's completely controversial, and obviously, I really do send love to the family of the babies that died, and to the families and the babies themselves. I think it's a tragic story, but it could also be a tragedy if Lucy Letby is innocent. So I think it's fair to look in as a hot potato topic, and probably something nobody wants to look at, or I feel like a lot of people will be petrified of this topic because it is such a hot potato. But I think we need to look into everything, and it's the families deserve the truth as well. So if it wasn't her and they've got the wrong person, it's worth looking into it. If it is her, then they got the right person, she's in jail anyway. So I'd like to look at it, just controversial as it is. Let's see what the universe has to say. Obviously, there are no facts here. I am not a doctor. I am not a lawyer. I am just using the tarot for entertainment purposes only. And just as a quick look-see what the tarot and the universe want to tell us. Right, so let's see. Let's look into, is Lucy Letby innocent? Let's just ask that off the bat. Is she innocent? Is she a victim of a system that was just looking for a scapegoat for the situation? I just want to see if she's innocent in this. So let's have a look and see, is Lucy Letby innocent of the crime she's been accused of and found guilty of? Let's see if she is innocent. First card down is the Judgment card. Second card down is the Tower. Third card is the Seven of Cups. Middle is the Seven of Swords. The bottom is the Four of Pentacles, which is the outcome. The advice is the Eight of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. So that is a very interesting pull. Two major arcanas and two heavy hitter major arcanas in this. So is Lucy Letby innocent, was my question. There is no outright yes. What there is a Judgment card. The first card down is Judgment. This is waking up the sleepers. This is a big telling, a massive statement coming out to the public, that, or to the people, that they needed to know and hear. So to go with the Judgment is the Tower. Now that's an interesting card to have next to Judgment, or to complement the Judgment card. It's a breaking down of a system. Foundations not built strongly enough. And it's a shocking revelation. It is it's not saying that she's innocent at all. It's not saying that she's guilty at all either. This is the interesting thing that the cards are telling me. You've got the Seven of Cups as the past. Now, this is a cup of confusion, chaos. It can be your too many options, too many things, too much going on. It can be the card of chaos, the card of unorganized, disorganized, just too many things all at the same time, and too many options, too many choices, some of them utterly outrageous as well. So there are things in the card that don't exist as options to think about as well. In the middle, though, the Seven of Swords, that is a liar, a sneaky strategy, a winning at all costs, but making sure no one's got anything to defend themselves with in order for you to win. So stealing everything, and then, how are they going to defend themselves if they have nothing to defend themselves? So that's an interesting card to have in the middle with this. You've got the Four of Pentacles as the outcome. Now that's interesting because that's holding on too tight. So is she innocent? Holding on too tight. The advice, Eight of Pentacles backed up by the Ten of Pentacles. Both financial cards. Working hard at your craft, abundance. And also in like, you know, tens are endings, but in this case, financial. This is a financial holding on too tight. An Eight of Pentacles, working at your craft, becoming amazing at it. And then the Ten of Pentacles is you've got everything you need, you've got everything you want. You've got more than you want. It's a wealth card. It's a very, very wealthy card. So this isn't giving me a definitive answer on whether she is innocent. It's saying there's a lot of confusion and chaos. And with the Tower and the shocking revelation, I think we should ask a few more questions on that. Actually, let's ask another question on this. Because it's not giving me a definitive answer as to whether she's innocent or not. But what it is saying is there's been some sneaky maneuvers, shocking revelations, things like that. So let's see. Let's ask another question. I'm going to ask it in this way, and I know this could be also controversial, but I think we need to look into this. It's a crazy case, and it's incredibly sad as well for the families. So let's see. Was Lucy Letby the scapegoat for a failing maternity department at the Countess of Chester is the hospital? So was she the scapegoat for a failing NHS department, NHS maternity department? Was she the scapegoat? Let's see what the tarot and the universe will tell us about that. Soft yes, Page of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles, next card down. Surrender to, the Ten of Swords is in the past. Nine of Pentacles in the middle. Four of Swords in the outcome. Hierophant and the Ace of Wands as the advice. So with this question that I asked was Lucy Letby the scapegoat for a failing NHS department? Sorry, I do keep looking at my notes. I'm trying to keep on track with the questions I have. So was Lucy Letby the scapegoat? We've got a soft yes here with a Page of Pentacles. It's a physical yes. It's an earth yes. It's a soft yes. It's not a complete absolutely. It's a soft yes, but there's always more to it, right? The NHS is coming up as the Seven of Pentacles. Now, this is interesting because it's a farmer who's planted and waiting to reap the rewards. So, I don't know what reward they're waiting to reap here. In the past, you've got the Ten of Swords, which is the surrender card. It's not a very pretty card to look at, but it is the surrender card. And it's an ending as well. So the Ten of Swords is an ending. So the Ten of Swords it's a painful card to look at, but it does mean that new beginnings will come. You know, there'll be a new dawn. Things are worse just before the sunlight, right? Things are darkest before the sunlight. In between Lucy Letby, soft yes, for being the scapegoat, you've got the Nine of Pentacles in the middle, which is your independent abundance, sovereign woman, or sovereign people, sovereign, she's got a falcon in her hand, she's wealthy, she needs for nothing, she's got everything she needs in this card. So that's your sovereign card. In the outcome, you've got the Four of Swords. Now, I think there's going to be more that comes out about this hospital, the Countess of Chester. So was she the scapegoat? We're not being told everything, certainly, and it will be coming out because you've got the Hierophant card as the advice with a fiery Ace of Wands. So the Hierophant is your card of people in positions of power. So there are people in positions of power within the NHS, but this is also the government card. This is also the legal card. This is the teachers card, the spiritual leaders card. You know, those kind of people at the top of the tree. So my question being, is Lucy Letby the scapegoat of the NHS? Soft, yes. There's more to this. There is definitely more to this. Okay, that's very interesting. The cards don't really want to tell me the complete stories of anything at the moment, which is frustrating, but no, we'll get there. I want to ask another question. The hospital that this was the Countess of Chester. Now, I've done a little bit of research in this hospital. I've never heard of this hospital, never been to this hospital, don't know it, don't know anything about it, don't know any people there, and it's obviously all just intuition and for entertainment purposes only. You have no facts. But I did do a little reading on this hospital, and the hospital's been downgraded more than once, and quite recently it's been downgraded as well. The management of this hospital have been listed as inadequate. So this hospital doesn't seem like it's in the best, being run the best, I also heard and found out that there were 2 porters that flagged things not going right with the mortuary at this hospital. The hospital then, did some really silly things, and they have just been compensated for how they were treated, because they were literally complaining about the conditions that the bodies were being mismanaged, which is dreadful. So let's have a look into this and see. The Countess of Chester. Let's do a health check on the hospital. The actual hospital. The Countess of Chester. Let's have a look at just quick health check and see what's actually going on with this hospital itself. Were these tragedies because the hospital was failing? Were these tragedies because everyone was overworked and overstretched and things like that? I want to see if just an overall health check on the Countess of Chester. So the first card down will be the Countess of Chester, and the health check will continue from there. But the actual hospital will come down as the first card down. So let's have a look and see the state of the Countess of Chester. The hospital, not a person. So first card down, 3 of Cups. Second card down, Emperor. Past, Hermit. In the middle, the Page of Cups. The outcome is the Devil. The 2 of Cups is their advice with the Ace of Pentacles. So the health check of this hospital. This hospital is coming up as the 3 of Cups. Now, normally this card is wonderful, and it's the card of celebration, and everybody's joyful and having a great time. The way it's backed up with the Emperor here, the Emperor is control, power, like running things very, very militarily. Also, people in positions of power. And with this, and the money card right underneath it, it's interesting that potentially the money was going to the wrong place. The past is the Hermit card. Now, this is the card of self-reflection. This is the card of they really need to look into themselves and light the way. They've got to go in, they've got to actually look at what's going on internally in that hospital, and they have got to come up with some plans. They've got to introspect. The hospital itself needs to do some reflection. from what I'm getting from this reading, with the Page of Cups in between the Three of Cups and the Emperor. That is your dreamer card, the wishy-washy wishes page. So how they want to be seen and how they want us to look at them is, you know, that they're a emotional, sort of wish-washy. Nothing is not telling me that they're in good health, let's put it that way. You know, it's the star sign for me that comes up with this card is Scorpio. It's like, you know, it's a bit emotional, but not really looking at the facts kind of thing. Not that I'm saying all Scorpios are like that. Please don't take offense to that, Scorpios, if there are any of you watching. But it's kind of, or a Pisces, sorry. Pisces card, not the Scorpio card. But it's kind of a bit, no one's making really clear decisions, is how I'm seeing it. And I feel like they may have to bring in someone to make these decisions for them. With the outcome being the Devil, which I can't show you this whole card because there are two people with no clothes on in it. But the Devil being the outcome is restrictions. It's but it's quite well aspected with the two cards that are around it. So it's bedeviling, which is like, you know, there'll be things that will, in the near future of this hospital, that they will have to resolve and have to face in order to get it where it should be. Well, you've got the Two of Cups at the bottom, which is agreements coming together, and the Money card. You know, new. They're going to have to, I want to say revamp their reputation, but they're going to have to revamp a lot of things within this hospital. And they may even need to come together with another organization to help them do this, potentially with someone who's done it before for another failing NHS. They may have to partner with another NHS in order to assist them with the problems going on. With the Three of Cups, this just popped into my head that the staff, you know, the health check of the staff here is that they could be, I don't know why, just drinking too much coffee is what popped into my head. It's like they are keeping themselves alive by drinking too much coffee, getting lots of stimulants just because they're so overworked and overstretched. So there are things that need to be done in this hospital. It's not getting a perfect health check. They need to do some self-reflection and improve. It's also not a diabolical read. It's not giving me the cards that I would expect for a diabolical situation, but it is definitely needs some improvement and some introspection of this hospital. So with regards to going back to this hospital, the Countess of Chester, there have been more than one scandal with regards to this hospital. And I want to see, there was some porters who flagged, as I said earlier, how the mortuary was and the unsafe conditions and the mishandling of things going down there. They've just been given a payout because they were then punished by the hospital. And I want to see if the NHS has a habit, maybe not just this hospital, but across the NHS, if they have a habit of punishing their own staff who complain about conditions of work. I want to see if there is a habit that the NHS have across the board of punishing staff for calling out mismanagement, calling out mishandling, calling out things that aren't going well, if they have a habit of punishing them. Let's see. I mean, the NHS has helped me so much over the years. I've not got anything against the NHS. All three of my children were born in the NHS. My son, unfortunately, had a few operations in the NHS. So I have a lot of love for the NHS and for the units and the people and the nurses and the doctors and the surgeons that I have had the pleasure of helping me and my family. So I have a lot of love for the NHS. I just find that, with this case, I just find things don't stack up for me. So let's look if the NHS have a habit of doing this across the board. If they have a habit of throwing people who flag things under the bus, as the saying goes. So the first card down was the Page of Swords. The second card down was the Queen of Wands. 5 of Cups in the past, 4 of Swords in the middle, 5 of Pentacles as the outcome, Hanged Man, and the Knight of Pentacles as the advice. So the way I'm looking at this is, does the NHS have a habit of throwing, I'm going to call them whistleblowers, or people who flag things internally that they don't like, or they're trying to hide? Do they have a habit of throwing them under the bus? Now, I've got a soft yes. It's the Page of Swords as the first card down, so it is a soft yes. They may even twist some of the things that those people have flagged or said to suit an agenda that they want for themselves. You've got the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is integrity. She speaks with integrity. She also trusts her gut. She goes with her intuition. So she is also a yes in this instance, because she is Queen of Wands, which is integrity, speaking with integrity. In the past, you've got the 5 of Cups. This is the emotional disappointment, looking at the spilt milk rather than the cups behind you. So the NHS has a habit of maybe, focusing too much on certain things, but not focusing on other things that are right behind them. The 4 of Swords being in the middle of, does the NHS... we don't know everything. There's hidden things here. There's some information we've been told, but not all of it. So they try and bury things. As the thing that just dropped into my head is they do try and bury these before they come out, to try and, the British people love the NHS. So they do try and keep things out of the public, I would say, and maybe take them take them out of the picture so that things don't get exposed as such. With the outcome being the 5 of Pentacles. Now this is a sorrow card, or not a sorrow card, a left outside, don't have enough money, don't have any pentacles. They are, in the snow and not very well dressed. It is a situation where I feel they have paid out some money for situations like that. Short-lived drama though, so it's nothing that's going to last forever. But do they do this where they throw people who whistleblow on conditions? Do they treat them badly, and do they throw the book at them? The answer is yes. They also make up things as they're doing it, and it needs it's saying that with the 5 as the outcome, they can't keep doing that for too long. They've done it for long enough. It's getting them into trouble. People are leaving. People don't even want to work for the NHS anymore. Even people are not really using the NHS. They're going to private. The advice is hang in there. Things need to hang in there because things need to be looked at, and things need to be looked at in a very careful way. So they are going to get better at not throwing people under the bus. They will start managing the things that are flagged in a better way. They won't just automatically throw the book at them and accuse whoever's flagging things of doing something else. I think that they will, across the NHS. This isn't just one hospital. I know it's happened in quite a few. You can read up on it yourself if you want to look into the NHS and see how many people who've flagged or whistleblowed a situation have been wrapped up in something mysterious that they've done that it's turned out to be absolutely rubbish, and then they're being paid out and sold. Oh, sorry. Instead of just facing up to the fact that these people are right and dealing with the situations, they are trying to just get rid of them. So let's hope that, it's not for too long. We'll get the NHS will get some enlightenment, and they'll be more careful with their money and how they do things. Interesting. I also want to ask a question. Is the NHS too top heavy? Do we have too many people in corporate rather than actually running the hospital? Like when I say running the hospital, like the doctors, the nurses, the porters. Do we have too many people in management jobs rather than actual people on the ground doing the job? Is there too much money in the NHS being spent on those administrative roles rather than the actual people, the healthcare people that we need within the NHS. I want to see, do we have too many people in, sorry, I had a flip. Do we have too many, does the NHS, not do we, does the NHS have too many people in those admin, corporate, high-flying kind of jobs where they're, you know, I want to call them, you know, they're just not the doctors and the nurses and the people who keep the hospital running, the porters, the cleaners. Do we have too many people in those positions within the NHS? Knight of Swords, first card down, Ace of Swords, Two of Wands in the background, the Magician in the middle, the Death card in the outcome, the Fool, and the Three of Swords. Wow, that's intense. So do we have too many people in the admin side of the hospital, middle, you know, management side being paid big bucks, and not enough being spent on the nurses and doctors? Yes, is the overall answer. But this is an interesting layout, so I'm going to talk it through to you. This is your rapid knight. This is the knight of he goes in there and he'll shake things up, is what I'm getting. So there, the middle, sorry, I forgot how I asked this question. What is wrong with me today? I feel like my brain is not working. So the Knight of Swords is he's coming in fast. You know, I think that there is too many people in management, absolutely too many people being paid big sums and not enough being spent on the doctors and nurses. You've got the Magician in the middle. They'd like us to try and like the way this Magician is coming up to me at the moment is movie. Like they're trying to tell us a story that we believe, but it's not truthful. You know, they are spending a hell of a lot by the looks of this. There is a rebirth card coming up. It's going to be a slow and steady. I say steady. It's been a very long time coming, right? You've got the Two of Wands in the background, which means someone's looking at it from a higher perspective. Someone is taking a real look down at this situation, or will be in the near future, taking a deep look down at this situation, and they're going to bypass all of the stuff that's not being shown truthfully. They're gonna bypass all of that, look straight through, and it's going to be painful, it's going to be horrible, it's not going to be a nice experience, but the NHS will never be the same again in the near future. Things will be different, things will definitely change, and there will be a new dawn and a new day. The advice is pretty intense. So you've got the Fool. Now the Fool is take a leap of faith, but it can also be don't be foolish, right? Don't think you can take this leap unless you've really thought about it and you've got all your ducks in a row. The supporting card to that is the Three of Swords. So that is going to be a painful journey, and you just got to have the faith that the outcome will be good for the people. Let's actually check in on, will the outcome be good for the people? So there's going to be taking control, making sure that you are the Strength card, getting it back to its strength and things, but there's going to take some shocking revelations in order to get it there. The foundations of the hospital and the NHS will need to be looked into, the way it's being managed, the way it's being run, who's in control, and how things are actually being done. You know, the Strength card is a beautiful card, and it's a card of taking control of situations, being flagged or being supported by the Tower card, you know, and them both being major arcanas. This is going to be a shocking, and so at some point quite painful, maybe even, you know, the foundations of the NHS as they are being looked into quite seriously, and taken control of. So that's quite interesting. If, you know, this is all my intuition and it's just my opinion on the tarot. There are no facts here. This is just for entertainment purposes only. It's just for out of interest. It was just, I found it quite interesting that and it came to mind, and there's so many articles recently about Lucy Letby, which is it's a big story, and it's tragic for a lot of people. Now, I want to see where will the NHS be in 2 years? Like, what will it look like in 2 years? Will it be in a better, the whole NHS across the country, will it be in a better place in 2 years? You know, we spend a lot of money on the NHS. Taxpayer money on the NHS, I should say. And you know, it's a service that we all love. Let's see where it'll be in 2 years. Like, what will the NHS look like in 2 years? Oh, that's good. I think it's going to take longer than 2 years to get it back into a really good place. I'm not going to talk you through every single card here. I might just pick up the most important ones. So the NHS will have better foundations. It'll be more working together. You know, and I think it will, you know, the end of the heavy slog, the end of the drain of the staff of the NHS. There will still be secrets within the NHS, having the high priestess there, still things that we don't always know. In the past, there was a hell of a lot of money being thrown at the NHS. The outcome is very interesting for me, being the Seven of Cups. Now, this is chaos and confusion. This is having too many options available, too many things, too many choices, too many decisions to make, too many, and it can all like almost give you a headache with so many things to look at and look at. But the advice being the Six of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords keeps coming up with the NHS, which is quite interesting. So this is the generosity card, and then you've got the Three of Swords. So I wonder if it's, you know, I wonder if they may have to rein in the generosity. And I don't know why I'm saying that. I don't even know why that would come to my mind. But the Three of Swords is a very painful, it's a heartbreak card. It's the card of, you know, distress. A lot of it is words and thoughts, though, not necessarily physical stress, but it's like it's going to be stressful to fix it. It's going to be, and in 2 years' time, it's still going to be under a bit of stress, but they will be more. They'll be better managed in a way, better foundations, better use of the money. But at the same point, there's still going to be secrets, and there's still going to be things unknown and hidden. But I don't see it looking the same as it does today in that sense. And I'm getting the impression that certain departments will be moved out of the NHS, and there'll be different ways and different businesses that'll be set up to offer specific services. I don't know what I mean about that. I don't know why that's come to me, but that it's just a thought that came into my mind. Is that the NHS needs to have some upgrades, some changes. There's been a lot of talks and chats about what was I going to say? Talks and chats about staff shortages in the NHS, struggling to retain staff. You know, King of Swords popped out, so that's truth. Yes, there are a lot of shortages for staff in the NHS, and I want to see if we'll be able to get a handle on the staff shortages. You know, let's see if we'll get a handle on the staff shortages. The junior doctors won't strike again, won't they? I'm not sure. Oh yeah, that's brilliant. I don't need to take any more cards. So yeah, they will get a better grip on the staff. There will be a new way of recruiting. There'll be a new approach to how they do things, and it'll be physical. There'll be some real thought going into how they do this, and for me, I feel like it's going to be ground up. So it's going to be, they're going to start potentially, training people within their hospitals, and from the roots. I feel like this could be a radical change to maybe how they do things at the moment, and I feel like there could be a better recruitment process to get people in there. So it's going to change the way that they do things right now, and the staff will get a grip on the number of staff that they have. Well, that's all I wanted to say on this. I did want to look into Lucy Letby. I don't know why she's been coming up so much at the moment. I think there's more to come on her. Let's see. I think there's more to come on her, but let's see. But thank you very much for watching. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, leave a like and comment if you want to, and share and subscribe if you'd like to. But thank you very much, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.